What's up, guys? It's Chris. Welcome to VHP Engines. I know I said this morning it was going to be the Super K video, but that's going to have to wait until a little later, possibly tonight, probably tonight. Why? Because the other day, the day before yesterday, I was talking to Tony, and during a long conversation, my EG came up, and I was like, "Well, I didn't know you had an EG." For some of you guys that are like old school as fuck, that have been here since since day one, you'll know that this channel started with me featuring my EG. Now, the reason why it kind of bums me out that nobody knows this, or that seemingly nobody knows this, is because like I've mentioned before with my Integra, everybody's like, when are we gonna get to see you drive your own car? Or I've even had people ridicule me like, you talk all this shit about other people, which is not true. And then, but you don't even have your own car. I've only kind of talked shit about one person, and it was only after I was talked shit about by them. So anyway, that's besides the point. But the point is, I had a project car that was running. I had a lot of footage on it. It wasn't long footage, but a lot of footage on it. Like you see, like if you go back and watch my automotive story, if you look at the thumbnail, it was me mocking up the intercooler, like on that car. It was a built B20V, it was a built B20V. So for one, people, waiting for the Integra like it's the first car that I've ever built. That's not true, because you can see all the other ones I've done reviews on, and that are my builds. And then plus recently with Brian's, who you can talk to Brian directly, and you can see that, that's not some kind of weird fake scam to say that I've built engines. But yeah, I had my own car, and I was taking a little clippets from troubleshooting, when I was having the problems I was having that turned out to wind up being the ECU that was fucked. But I had a project car running at the very beginning. What happened to that project car? Why you don't see it now? Because when I was in the process of moving up here, I had to decide whether I wanted to keep the EG Sedan or keep my Integra. And despite the fact the Integra was running, and it made more logical sense to keep that, I wanted my Integra. And this feeds back into the story I'm about to tell you. So I kept the Integra, and I had taken off the wheels of my EG, and I was going to sell it for a stupid little price. But I was going to sell it to a stupid little price to a friend I used to work with, and I knew that he was going to take care of the car. He was going to finish the tune and everything. It was going to be something I could still track and follow, and get info on it. So I was satisfied with that. Literally the day before I was going to sell it, literally the day before it was to be sold, it was going to be picked up, somebody stole the car while I was at the shop working on Ariel's engine. So I come home, and the space where it was parked, it was empty. And I talked to the people at the gas station, and they saw my car being pushed down the street. It was some fat kid and somebody chasing them in a Honda Fit, and they jumped in my car and turned it on and hauled ass. So yeah, so that's all she wrote there. That EG Sedan was probably the cleanest EG Sedan I had, even though it had its problems. But I loved that car. I really wanted that car to run. I really wanted to keep it. But me moving up to West Virginia, I had my truck, my wife's car, my Integra, and I couldn't keep all of them. So I made the choice to get rid of it. And in the Hot Boys, I made the choice to take it off my hands entirely. Now, here's the funny story with that. I say that because of this, the EG Sedan is like my fucking Eleanor. I've owned 3 of them motherfuckers. I've owned 3 and never got to keep them long. As a matter of fact, if you looked at the thumbnail, I'm gonna post a thumbnail separately on the Facebook, so that way you guys can see that. You can look at it and hold it there without coming up for a second, disappearing. The one that's got the multicolored nose. That's a funny story too. If you have watched my automotive story, you may remember of me name dropping a guy named Johan, who was there in the beginning to help guide me when I first started doing this shit. That EG Sedan, we took a 3-hour drive to Carlsbad, New Mexico from El Paso, and we picked up this EG Sedan that was crashed. Because Johan was gonna take the swap out of it and sell the swap, and he wound up selling me the shell for I think $400 or whatnot. So I went up there with him that night, and we tow strap pulled that fucking sedan from Carlsbad to El Paso. Tow strap pulled it for 3 fucking hours. There was even at one point in time where the strap came loose, and we left it. I was driving with his wife, and we were talking, and we left him the strap came undone, and he didn't have no cell reception. So we looking back, where's Johan? And then fucking do a U-turn and go back and pick him up. It was fucking hilarious. That's dedication right there. Honda boys fucking, you know, steering a fucking dead car for 3 hours. Anyway, we got it back to the shop. He took the fucking swap out, you know, and he made his money off that. And then he pretty much made his money back for buying the crash car because I bought it pretty much for the same price that he paid for the whole thing in general. Now, I took that car. I ripped off the crash front end of it. The frame itself wasn't fucking damaged at all. So that was cool. And I think I paid like $100 and I wound up getting the bumper and the hood and fenders and I put it together. And then I went out and I bought a Z6 swap for like $450 from a guy I'm actually friends with on Facebook. We don't really talk, but we're friends on Facebook or whatever. And so that was like the first Honda that I actually built. The first one that I built 100% by myself, you know, putting together. And I mean, I didn't build the engine, but it was a swap. Yeah, I assembled the shell, put the wheels on it, and put the swap in there. I was pretty happy about that at the time. Not long after that, I got another EG Sedan. What happened was like I had that Integra, right? The Integra that I really wanted to keep. My friend bought it. It was smoking a lot. It wound up being head problems. It was smoking all the time, but I wound up getting it from him for work. Yeah, I was doing work for him, and he was giving me the car in exchange for that. And I drove that around for a while, and I realized I was going to be leaving El Paso soon. And once again, because I was moving, I was being forced to let go. I mean, if you see that picture with the multicolored EG and the thumbnail, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cars lined up. The car underneath the wrap is my Del Sol. And then there's a DA Integra, and I think my SRT4 that was blown up at the time. And I had another car, like an EK Coupe. Also, I had a lot of cars at one point in time. So I was, you know, I wound up junking the DA, which broke my heart. I wound up junking the DA. The swap from the EK went to the Del Sol. I got rid of the EK. And I was going to give the white EG Sedan to my little brother. Now, we were going to do a big convoy. It was going to 2 EG Sedans, the Del Sol being towed in a 26-footer. But the day we were leaving El Paso, the white EG Sedan wouldn't start. And it was like I'd already been balls to the walls with putting a rack on my running EG Sedan. And I was like, we just didn't have any time. I'd already pushed back my departure date like 2 days. So I was like, nah, we have to go today. And I decided to leave the EG Sedan, the white EG Sedan behind. And I just told my brother, you know, my bad. Oh, so what I didn't mention is I forgot, I skipped over the part. The Integra that I really wanted to keep, I decided to trade that Integra for that sedan. So that way I could give the sedan to my brother, who needed a car at the time. And it turns out that the guy that I traded the car with also is still friends with me on Facebook again, even though we don't talk too much. And he was the one to let me know that I had head issues when he started stripping it down. So there was that. And so I lost the white EG Sedan. Now what happened with my multicolored nose EG Sedan, when we drove back to fucking Florida, the car was champ, it made the trip, no problem. We get there, and I think within a week or two of me being there, my friend's friend was driving the car around, and blew the engine. Apparently he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Didn't tell anybody he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Over-revving the fuck out of it. My wife didn't know. You know, she was too scared to say anything. I don't know why. It's a whole other story. And she fucking, while I was at work, the car was blown up. Now, at the time, I was living in my grandmother's condo. We were at it was an old people place. So it's not like I could go in apartments down there and work on this car in the parking lot. So I was forced to get rid of the car for something that could run. I did a trade plus $500 for a CD5 Accord, which I would later junk. But yeah, so I was really salty about that because I really enjoyed that sedan. It didn't have any balls, but it was a fun car to drive. So what happened eventually was that Del Sol I wound up having to get rid of, and through Blake, my old partner, I got the EG Sedan off him, which was the best one I had of the bunch. It was, you know, pretty decent. If you see it in here, the fender's fucked up because of something happened. There was an accident with the wheel getting pushed back or whatnot. Not a big deal. But anyway, you know, that was going to be my unicorn. I got it. I only drove it for a couple weeks and started having problems with it. So eventually I pulled the swap, started fixing things on it. built the B20, had the turbo shit set up in there. My initial tune was a disaster. I made a story about that too. It was just a bad night. Eventually, I put a new turbo on it. I was going to go back for a retune. And then I decided, of course, not to retune it because I was going to sell it instead. And then it got stolen. So the EG Sedan is a car that I really want to do. But I try to look forward and try not to do repeat projects. I'd like to try to get in there. There's a lot of cars that I have unfinished business with that I've owned. I owned a DA, and I never got to do anything with it because it was just a shell the whole time I owned it. And then I ran out of time and had to leave it. I really want to build a DA. I love DAs. I would really like to get a clean EG Sedan and a Del Sol. I really want another Del Sol. I really want. So those are 3 cars I've already owned that I really would like to get again. It's funny, you know, everybody loves the EG hatch and whatnot. I'm obsessed with the EG Sedan just because of the fact that I've had so many and never got to do what I really wanted to do with them. So eventually I would hope to one day get back to it. Now, the 4-door that I really want is a 99 2000 EK Sedan. I really want one of those. If I get one, or when I get one, I'm going to put a Vitara single cam in it. I'm aiming for around 300 some horsepower, maybe 400. And I want power steering and AC. I want a fully functioning EK Sedan. It's going to be awesome someday. Yeah, so anyway, that's just the main reason I wanted to talk about this is because I wanted to, you know, clear things up. That if you go back and look at my old videos, I had a project car that I was doing. You know, you can see my project sitting by my fucking trailer. You know, I was doing my work on it. So there's that. Yeah, and I guess that's it. You know, I've had a lot of Honda projects over the years, and those 3 cars would be something I'd like to revisit eventually. Although I think that when I do the Del Sol again the next time around, I want to do K. Yeah, and now recently I'm seriously considering doing it in AK. Alrighty, so that's gonna wrap this up, and I guess I'll see you guys super late in the AM when I come back to talk about the Super K. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and peace.